now 5:30, and let's call our meeting to order. And roll call, every member is here today. Well, no, I'm sorry, Jack Dunn, let it be known that Jack Dunn is absent today. On vacation, much well deserved. Now for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's ask Dave to lead us in the pledge, please.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dave? Everybody should have a copy of their agenda in front of them. I just need a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
So moved.
Parrish, and a second, please.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Okay. Now we need to approve the minutes from our May 22nd meeting. If those are in front of you, I need a motion to approve the minutes from May, please.
Move to approve.
Parrish, and a second.
Second.
Marty, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Everybody caught up? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Everybody is well aware of our Downtown Live events that happens usually every second Saturday. We're going to let Jay give us an update on how those are going.
Well, I think from looking at the numbers and looking at what's been said online, it's been, in the words of a friend of mine, a smash hit. We've had some fantastic crowds downtown. All the vendors seem happy. We also get data from a service called Placer.ai. What they do is they track anonymously, they track cell phones to let us know how many people are in the vicinity. We've drawn a boundary around Main Street from D.V. Carroll down to Spring Street, and then from both, it goes just beyond the back streets on both sides. In July, we had a total of almost 5,000 people over the course of the event. At its peak, around 8:30 p.m., there were 3,500 people on Main Street. Their average dwell time was 155 minutes. All of those numbers are up from the previous month, and they're way up from the baseline. We also looked at this data on just a random Saturday. On a random Saturday, there's only about 2,500 people total for the entire day, with a peak at any one time of about 600 people. So it's clear just from that data that we're bringing a lot of people to downtown. All of the vendors have continuously reported that they sell out of food and drink. The merchandise vendors are reporting strong sales. And I think the best indication is that all of the vendors want to come back and do it again. So if this was not a successful event for the vendors, they probably wouldn't come back. But all of them want to come back. And in fact, we're seeing more vendor requests than we can actually currently satisfy. The 24 allocated vendor spots that we set out at the beginning of the event are now completely full, and we've got more applications to process. We're in the very fortunate position of having created this event that businesses from outside Jasper and Pickens County are asking to participate. We continue to focus on local businesses first. We want our Jasper, specifically our downtown businesses, to benefit from this event. We want our local community to benefit the most. But if we don't have more local businesses participate, we may have to open it up to outside businesses just to satisfy the demand of the audience. I think a special thank you should go out to the city's public works and safety people. They work extremely hard. They've done a really great job of helping with the event, both getting it set up and keeping it safe for all the attendees, and then cleaning up afterwards. This last event in July, we went out on the street after the event and it looked like the event had hardly ever happened. And that's all due to the hard work of the city employees, so they deserve our gratitude. We're also actively listening to Main Street businesses, sponsors, vendors, and attendees for feedback on how to improve the events. We're monitoring social media. All the social media numbers are up. So if anyone has suggestions or comments about how to improve the event, we're obviously all ears. We want to make this the best event we possibly can. When we get to the social media numbers, someone generated this chart, the page reach comparison between last year and this year. The numbers so far, we've got 39,000 people and 20,000 engagements on social media, which is, I think, pretty significant. Pretty nice to see those numbers grow. And that kind of growth is correlated with the growth that we've seen at the actual event. So I think there's certainly a lot of great things that have already happened, and there's nothing that leads us to believe that future events won't be even more successful.
Awesome. And Jay, thank you for monitoring all of that, monitoring our website, monitoring getting those vendors in, those vendor requests. And anything else from you, Jay? And Marty, how are the bands going?
Fine.
Everything's happy?
Everybody's doing real well. Good attendance, good music. The next band, two bands, is two local bands that we hadn't had either one of them in the past, but should be a nice evening for both of us.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Anybody else want to add anything to our downtown live discussion? Wonderful. Okay, moving on. This was an item Jack was going to present about the downtown lights, and that's more specific with the lights along the buildings and some, I guess, Christmas lights. I don't feel the need to read his entire update. If anybody would like to see it, it's available, but each board member up here has a copy of Jack's report. There are some issues. I'll just kind of summarize it. Some lights hanging off the poles at the drugstore, Designs on Main. There are just some issues with this that needs tightened up. There's some issues with some lights on the Woodbridge. And in years past, the lights on the buildings was started from a group called the Downtown Alliance. And Jack was the chair of that at that point in time, rolled over into the DDA sort of by default. So here we are, present day, with the lights situation, and it may have now become a little bit bigger than just a DDA initiative when it comes to contracts and working with the city. And with that being said, I'm going to push this over to Kirk for a minute to follow up with this from the city side.
Sure, thank you, ma'am. So, Chair and Board, the lights were a great initiative. They're still a great project. Ongoing maintenance issues are being addressed. There was a contract in place that was signed off by the mayor of Jasper in 2021. October 4th of 2021, this came before council for a full vote. We did vote for this initiative to occur on the buildings. We actually allocated funding for 4 trips a year through this certain vendor. The city manager, her staff, they're aware of the contract or the agreement that's in place. They're actively working that. We'll kind of take a side seat to her. So the DDA can kind of back off since the agreement was signed and executed by the city and the mayor. We're going to let her take the front seat on that, and I know that she can handle that. She's good at fixing problems.
Indeed.
So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. As the city standpoint, I can be your point of contact on that. We'll work with city manager and her staff to make sure that the vendor gets out there corrected.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. It's been a great addition, but we do need the maintenance, so I appreciate the city stepping up and kind of helping us out on that end and sort of takes the burden off of us. So thank you, Kirk, and thank you, Sonia, for taking that on. Next on our agenda, along with the beautification of those lights, is the Streetscapes update. and Kirk has been so wonderful.
So there's not much to report on that board. As you can see, Main Street is looking great. The plantings are doing really well. Mother Nature's cooperated for the most part. We've had rain when we needed rain. We've had sunshine when we needed that. So I'm happy with that. The city manager and her staff, again, are working on a couple of key additions that they believe would benefit all of downtown. I'm not going to reveal those secrets just yet. I want to make sure that she gives me permission to do that in a future meeting. So I believe probably in the next meeting or two, I'll be presenting something to you for some new additions.
It's exciting. Thank you, Kirk, for that. And moving on now to the ever fun, popular financial report. From Jay, please, who is our secretary and treasurer.
Thank you. Most of the financial activity for the DDA is related to Downtown Live. To date, we've had $68,300 of income through sponsorships, vendor payments, all of the other things that are related to throwing the event. So far to date, we've had expenses of $57,750.97, leaving cash on hand of $10,549.03. The expenses do include projected expenses, or some projected expenses for future events. So there's no alarm there. We have plenty of cash on hand to be able to handle any unforeseen expenses. That does include all entertainment, off-duty police, sound equipment, generators, portable restrooms, ice, and all of our advertising. There may be some other incidental expenses that will come up related to Downtown Live, and we do intend to use as much of the money that we receive from sponsorships and vendors on Downtown Live. So we've been thinking about other ways that we can improve the event. One of the things that came up is having more portable restrooms, which make it easier for crowds and take some of the burden off of some of the businesses and people coming into the businesses and using the restrooms, and then other things we can do to improve the attendee experience. So we're currently working on that. There's no updates to share just yet, but there are a lot of ideas floating around. So we're looking forward to the next two events.
And with that financial report, these events like this would not be possible without our generous help from our city of Jasper and our private, I guess that would be most business sponsors, but you know, there are individuals who sponsored this and saw the value in it to get this up and running. So I would like to publicly thank the city of Jasper as well as our sponsors for this event. Anything else, Jay, on the finances?
Nothing else on the financial report. We will have a more detailed financial report at the end of the quarter.
Perfect. And that's ever growing as we get in invoices, and it's thank you for that. That looks like it may conclude all of our updates for today. We don't have any action items that require any votes today. In the public interest, it is the best for us to give the public updates on the things that are happening, if not monthly, bi-monthly, even if we don't need any votes taken. We feel this is important to show cohesiveness and that things are still happening with the DDA, and we like to report that to our public. So thank you guys. Our next, anything else before I move on? Our next meeting is scheduled for August 28th at 5 p.m.
5:30?
5:30, sorry. Thank you. Our next Downtown Live event will be August the 12th. And the Art Walk, which is co-sponsored with the DDA and the Performing Arts, I always said that wrong, PACA, whatever the acronym is September 22nd. I'm not sure how many more of those they have this year. But the street does not get blocked. Let me say that too with the Art Walk. Downtown Live, it's a little more impactful with the street closures, but Art Walk, open event, open parking, all the things. Is there anybody here that would like to add anything to our meeting tonight? Any board member?
Just to clear, they're not usually just a few questions that I've heard from, we're not doing anything for the September for the G Fest. Last year we did Saturday night, we're not doing that this year.
Correct.
So it's not to conflict.
Not to conflict
with the G
guys. And that they're having the downtown up here Friday night, but we're not doing it.
we know the Show and Shine Jeep Fest thing would be that in September, that Friday.
Right.
And last year, we attempted a Downtown Live concert that Saturday as well, and it didn't go over for whatever reason. You know, it was successful, but not like the numbers of the Jeep Fest and our Downtown Live. So, you know, we'll let Jeep Fest do something else on that Saturday, and we will not have a Downtown Live that in the month of September because of Jeep Fest. So, thank you, Marty. Anything else, board?
No, ma'am.
Absolutely. We can open up the floor for questions. We have plenty of time for that. You have a question, Bill? Come introduce yourself. We'll do our best to give you an answer.
My name is Bill Scurry. I run Jasper Antiques and Things behind the drugstore. And I just had a couple questions.
Perfect timing.
Well, of course. I get a lot of tourists coming to the store. And the number one question they all have is, why is Jasper closed? And, you know, I don't have an answer for that. You know, I think Saturday and, well, today, and I think a lot of times Tuesday, I haven't really paid attention. The stores are closed, the restaurants are closed. Is there a reason for that?
Well, I don't think we have a specific answer for you on that, Bill. I mean, it's sometimes free enterprise, of course, and they have their own, they can run their own businesses how they will. And I admit there's times it's like pulling teeth to ask a store to please open on a Monday or a Tuesday or during our Downtown Live event. But as far as Jasper closed, we don't have really any answer for that. We have come a long way. We've come a very long way,
You know,
and we're getting there.
I've got a lot of friends that live at Big Canoe and Bent Tree, and they all say the same thing. Why is Jasper closed? So what do? They want to go to dinner? They go to Alpharetta. And now a restaurant's opened up there at the back gate of Big Canoe because there's no place to come in Jasper to eat. I think they're missing out.
We emphatically agree with that. And we would really love to, now that you have your request or your question out for public and the public can view that, maybe some of those downtown business owners will go back and look at this and know that you have placed that out into the universe, and hopefully they will take notice and open on Friday or Saturday or whatever other than Friday and Saturday. Serve more than 8 meals a week and know that there is a demand for that.
You're just talking about Monday and Tuesday nights.
Huh?
You're talking about
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, and really Sunday, I don't see.
They're open on Sunday.
Well, they're open on Sunday.
They might close early, maybe be on just, I mean, they can set for everything. Most of them are open on Sunday.
Chairwoman, if I could, and more. Bill, thank you for being here this evening. What I would encourage you and your friends to do is connect with the Chamber of Commerce. Their members are all over our community.
I've talked to them before.
Good,
I've talked to a lot of other people in town before.
good. So if you'll
Everybody
connect with them,
says, I don't know.
yeah. So if you'll connect with them on a member directory, you can certainly get their hours of operation, all their information. As far as Jasper being closed, Jasper's not closed. Jasper's a thriving town that's growing, and we're going through a revolution. If you were to visit 5 years ago, you wouldn't recognize Main Street that we have today.
I can tell you this, I've been coming up to Jasper since 1972, and, you know, Jasper is growing, and it needs to grow, because if it doesn't grow, it's gonna die.
There you go. You either grow or you die.
And so, that's why the restaurants they need to be open, at least the ice cream place.
Well, as much as us people or whomever in government would love to probably say, we demand that every restaurant stay open, that's just not in our authority or power to do so. But we are glad that you revitalized that area that you're in, Bill. That place was desolate and lonely for quite some time. So
Right, I agree.
we're getting there.
I
So
agree.
thank you for that.
Okay.
You put your money where your mouth is, so we like that.
Yeah. No, one more there an email list or something I can get on that gives me updates of what's going on in here instead of having to come in here all the time? I work, we're closed at 5. So, I had to rush to get over here.
It's difficult.
So a lot of times it's difficult, sometimes I'm up until 7 o'clock. So,
Absolutely. We'll make sure you're at least on our list, and unfortunately, the city may have a list, and the DDA have a list, and the chamber have a list, so just get on every list that you can possibly can.
Yep, so thank you for asking the question. The Chamber of Commerce is running a community calendar. Kay Lawrence, the chair of the Chamber of Commerce, has made a good effort in making sure that their community calendar is updated with all the events that are posted. You can also check out your local newspaper and No Pickens. Those 3 sources right there are your main 3 sources.
okay,
Definitely. Thank you for being here, though.
thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Bill. Thank you for closing early, coming on up here and presenting some interest. We do
Oh,
appreciate it.
and don't forget to come by the store.
That's
Yes. Since you put your money where your mouth is, we need to too, right?
That's
Thank you, Bill. And that was Bill with Antiques and Things, am I saying it right?
Yeah, Jasper, Antiques and Things.
Thank you, Bill. Any other public comment? If not, then we don't need a motion to adjourn. Almost in record time, 5:52, we will consider ourselves adjourned until next month. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.